The rest of the story. Robert Shurtleff was born in 1760 in Plymouth County, Massachusetts. A child of poor parents, Bob was indentured at an early age, served a farm family in Middleborough. During Bob's decade or so of servitude, the youth learned to read and write. Bob even taught school for a while. Then came the Revolutionary War. 18-year-old Bob wanted to enlist in the Continental Army to fight for the American dream. And at a time when 5'8" could be considered strapping, Bob was considered strapping. The local recruiting station welcomed young Shurtleff into the service. But then their new recruit made a mistake. To celebrate, Bob went to a nearby tavern, had a drink, then another, and another. And in an hour, the young soldier became so drunk and behaved so riotously that the tavern owner reported it to the Army. Well, not only was Bob booted out of the service, but also the local Baptist church. But undaunted, the youth hiked to Oaksbridge and to the recruiting station there. And once more, it was Infantry Private Robert Shurtleff, volunteer in the 4th Massachusetts Regiment. Only this time the title stuck. Taking a personal vow of sobriety, Bob was sent off to West Point, served there for 18 months. West Point was an active base during the Revolutionary War, the headquarters from which innumerable raiding parties departed. Bob joined as many of those raids as the commanding officers would allow. In hand-to-hand combat at Tappan Bay, Bob received a severe saber wound to the head, but kept on fighting. During a skirmish at East Chester, Bob was shot in the thigh, dug the bullet out with a pocket knife, and kept on fighting. Wouldn't even let a doctor treat the wound for fear of being removed from action. And there was more action at Fort Ty, and more at the now renowned Battle of Yorktown. Age 22, after nearly 4 years of service, Shurtleff reached Philadelphia. But having survived the sabers and muskets of the British, there was one danger Bob had not counted on: disease. The young soldier contracted what was then called brain fever and was discharged. And you know something? After those 4 years of gallantry, and while all the other veterans were receiving their pensions, Bob Shurtleff received none. So, after the war was over, Bob was poor again. To keep eating, the still young veteran took to the lecture circuit, was reduced at times to putting on the old Army uniform and executing the manual of arms on stage. But in 1804, more than 20 years after Bob's discharge, the injustice ended as the matter came to the attention of none other than Paul Revere. It was Revere, then, who intervened on Bob's behalf and secured 2 well-deserved compensations for the retired soldier from the Massachusetts legislature and the federal government. But did I mention why Bob received no pension in the first place? Because Robert Shurtleff, the twice-wounded 4-year veteran of the Revolutionary War, was technically not Robert Shurtleff at all, was instead a she, masquerading as a he. Deborah Sampson. A name little regarded even today in the annals of the American Revolution. Only now you know the rest of the story.